If you had advice that you could, and I'll keep it specific to business advice, that you could give 40-year-old Dave, what would you tell him then that like you know now that you didn't know then?
Play incremental long ball. Don't look for the home run. I keep waiting for somebody to call me and for this to get easy. One phone call and it's all over. And it's like, oh, now I don't have to think about it anymore. Someone else is going to do it for me. It's all automatic. It's never going to be automatic. It's never going to be easy. It's a hustle and grind. It's a claw. You're going to make a bazillion mistakes. Make mistakes that are experiments that you survive. You put out a hypothesis, you survive the experiment. To live another day to have another experiment. Put out another hypothesis, another product that fails, another idea that fails. And our failures at Ramsey are in number and in money are way greater than our successes. The only thing is we survived them. A, we didn't have debt, and B, we never bet the farm on one horse. And so from a diversification standpoint, we never pushed all the chips to the middle of the table on one hand. And so we're not looking for the singular home run. We're looking to survive and fight another day and keep iterating. And the culmination of that, the accumulated value of those iterations are what we call the gleaming mountain of success, which turns out as a pile of garbage and mistakes that you're just standing on rather than laying under it.
I love that. One of the sayings that we have in our community is 100 golden BBs, no silver bullets.
There you go. That's the one. That's exactly, you beat me. That's much better than mine. I would have just gone with that. It's the same thing. I keep waiting on the phone call, but I mean, it's never, I've had a couple of them I thought was it, and then I was, found out they were just people, and they weren't magic.
Well, it's funny because I joke with our community because a lot of my community is small business owners, probably, from $100,000 a year to $100 million a year is probably like the broad brushstroke of the people who are listening to this. And the biggest thing a lot of them suffer from is, shiny object syndrome, is that as soon as something starts to get hard, something new looks easy. And so they jump from the hard thing to the easy thing. And really it's just uninformed optimism. And then they get into it and then they have informed pessimism.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, by the time it shines, you're late. You're late. It's too late. I mean, if you think TikTok is new, you're late.
Yeah.
It's already not new. It may have already turned down while we were talking right now.
Well, I mean, if we have a second, let me know. In terms of how, because you've survived's a strong word. You've thrived, platform agnostic. You were in radio, you've done live stuff, but then I see YouTube clips of your show pumping out every day. You guys crush it on YouTube, and you do it kind of your way. How have you thought about navigating platforms as they come and go, and how you kind of like reinvest in where are we going to make a bet and say, okay, we're going to start expending resources here? Or is it just, if there's attention, we'll go there? Like, how do you think through that?
We try to go there, and then we expend resources based on results. And so the YouTube shorts that we've been pumping out is only about a year and a half old, and we're getting incredible results. Yeah. But we're getting results on those, as an example. We don't view those as life transformation items.
Okay.
We view them as lead magnets to lead you to the long-form show, to Financial Peace University, to a book, which are life transformation items. So they're free advertisements that cause people to get a little sample. You get a little old lady standing in Costco with a sample biscuit, right? And so you get a little sample, and get a little sample biscuit, and then you may go buy the whole thing in the freezer. I would not do, in other words, our philosophy on changing lives is while we're here, we would not only do YouTube shorts because they don't change lives. Okay. We would not only do the new long form TikTok, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. We would not only do that because it won't change a life. And so it's got to lead us somewhere, and based on its response on doing that or just general activity around whatever the item is, whether it's a long form or short form, we're gonna pour gas on where we're seeing stuff work. And so we don't, for the last 2 years we put little to no effort in growing Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson might change that. It may become a broadcast medium.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll probably be on Twitter next week.
Well, Elon's definitely pushing it.
Elon, and he's going to, but I mean, if it's not going to just be a cauldron for trolls, then and it's actually going to put out some positive information in a way that is consumable and could grow. And if Elon proves that with Tucker, I mean, we'll jump in there and try it right now. And all that is, we're not going to put a ton of money on it or resources or bandwidth on it. But this week we were discussing we're probably going to try it. And what Tucker's doing and what Elon's doing with Tucker and with that whole idea of broadcasting there, because Facebook Live didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not working.
No, not anymore.
Not from our perspective anyway. But we're still there. We didn't abandon it, but we're not putting effort on it. Where YouTube Shorts, we got a lot of people in this building working on that every day. Yeah,
you guys crank those.
Yeah, they do. They put out a bunch of them.
When you think about content for you, because you're recording 12 hours a week, correct? 4 days, 3 hours a day. Oh, 15 hours. Okay.
Well, not counting commercials. Yeah, we do 3-hour talk radio show every day. 5 days a week.
The entirety of your kind of content creation, and then the teams take all of that and disseminate it through all the channels?
I do a podcast that I just took over that's caller-driven on leadership and small business called Entree Leadership. Took that over in January. That and the Ramsey Show are the only two things I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
But Ramsey Network has about 10 shows that are YouTube and or radio and or, I mean, we put them on everything. But, I mean, the Ken Coleman Show is the only one that's on talk radio, 75 stations, plus podcast, plus YouTube. Dr. John Deloney has a huge show on podcast and YouTube only. The Rachel Cruz with George Camel, the Smart Money Happy Hours. But we sawdust every one of those. Every one of those can.
When you say sawdust,
we're going to take pieces and clips and do all kinds of things with them. Instead of, we don't go create. I say very seldom do we go create a YouTube short of anyone in the building or anything in the building. It is clipped from something we were already doing. So it's repurposed content that was already developed for something else. Highly edited.
Yeah, I mean, because I've observed what you're doing and thinking like, how can we do even more of that kind of stuff?
Lots of payroll.
Our media is. All right. Well, this has been phenomenal, and I'm honestly just so grateful that they had me and my team out here to. Is this considered Ramsey Studios? Is that what this would?
We call it that. Ramsey Solution Studios. Yeah.
And just also so grateful for that one tiny tidbit that.
Wow, I'm honored I had a tiny bit to do with all that you do, man. You're amazing. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Means a lot. I appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for coming on the game.
Thank you, brother.
Hopefully something in the future.
Absolutely. You can count on it.